Nearly 1 million people saw him fly that day, and the world was changed. If 2 bicycle shop owners can bring forth an age of aviation, what else is possible? What can we do? Courage, from the Latin root cor, meaning heart. Courage is to set your heart on something and to pursue it, unwavering, in spite of fear, in spite of doubt, in spite of failures, in spite of obstacles. Courage is unstoppable, like your heart. It's a gift. No one had to approve of you. You didn't have to earn it. It just beats. And as long as it beats, you live. Courage is the same. As long as you have the courage to pursue, your dreams live. And this is the innovator's attitude. 1 part courage, 1 part curiosity. And I'd like to give you 3 exercises you can do to cultivate your own innovator's attitude. Feel free to share them with others. But before we do that, let me dive just a little bit into each of the concepts, courage and curiosity, and discuss what they mean, sort of more than just the word itself. What do we mean when we say this? So let's do curiosity first. At its core, curiosity is a pure sense of wonder and awe. Has anyone here ever been a child? Okay, we got a few. That's good. You'll recall how the tiniest of things could occupy your curiosity for hours. You could chase a butterfly for an afternoon. If someone bought you a big gift, you could spend the better part of a day exploring the inside of the box it came in. Right? Who's done this? Me too. So at its core, curiosity is a sense of wonder, and kids are a brilliant example of this. 2, curiosity is a love of learning, and engaging your curiosity yields learning. This is why it's so useful to innovation, because it yields insight. Right? The internet is in my pocket because 1,000 scientists and engineers discovered things about the way electrons and waves behave, and about the way information can be stored, organized, and shared. Right? Not to mention the entrepreneurs who discovered the business models that sustain this effort over time. Right? That's how innovation works. 3, curiosity is the capacity to unlearn. Mark Twain once said, "It ain't the things you know that get you in trouble. It's the things you know for sure that just ain't so." I don't know if he talked like that, but those are wise words, right? And it's true. Who here has ever lost an argument to Google, right? This happens all the time. There are 5 senses. No, there's more than 5. There's 5. No, there's... And then Google comes out and the argument's over, right? And if you're on the losing side of an argument, if you discover that something you believed was true is in fact wrong, and there's anything above 0 people in the room, you're embarrassed. Right? We've all been there. It hurts. But it's important. Unlearning is just as important as learning to innovation. If you've been doing the wrong thing for a long time and you discover it, that's a gem, right? That's something to celebrate. So curiosity, at its core, sense of wonder. It's about learning, but it's also about unlearning. Courage, in its core, is an act of desire. Courage is rooted in desire. No one ever called forth their courage to conquer challenges that didn't have anything to do with who they were or what they wanted, right? Courage is an act of heart. 2, courage must be persistent if it's to succeed. None of the problems that we face today are going to be solved in a day or a week, right? None of the important ones to society anyway. So the courage to face a difficult challenge needs to sustain over a long period of time if it's to reach final success. 3, courage must be resilient. Right? Your courage needs to stand up to every type of setback, your own fear and doubt. So your courage needs to be resilient if it's to succeed. Right? So rooted in desire, right? It's got to be attached to your self-identity, to what you want. It's got to be persistent over time. And it's got to be resilient to any kind of setback, failure, fear, doubt. And that's courage. So I'm going to give you 3 exercises you can do to cultivate your own innovator's attitude. Okay? Exercise number 1. Do things that scare you. Face your fears. We all know we should be doing this. This is not my advice. Google face your fears, and 1,000 of the most successful people will show up with quotations on Google. And they'll all tell you the same thing. It's not worth it. Whatever's on this side of your fears, comfort, convenience, a paycheck, the perks, it's not worth it. Relinquish your comfort and do what frightens you. And as you face your fear, something very interesting happens. Your relationship with fear changes. It's not so scary anymore. It starts to become a little familiar. Fear no longer means stop, and your courage, quite literally, becomes unstoppable. So what is it for you? What do you fear most? Skydiving? Saying I'm sorry? Doing something without first planning every little detail? Getting an F on an exam? Maybe that's not the one you should start with. Let's keep that GPA high. So identify what your fears are and put time on that calendar and make a habit of this. Exercise number 2. Follow your curiosity. Take a fixed period of time, pick a starting location, and just follow your curiosity, right? In New York, you can start at Bethesda Fountain and carve out an afternoon. Just see where you end up, right? If you're really brave, you can start at LaGuardia Airport. Carve out the whole weekend. See what happens. And if you need help, grab an 8-year-old. They're wonderful at this. And just go for a walk. And when you get to the end, right, if you do a full day of this, or an hour, whatever it is, get to the end and take note of what you learned in a way that you enjoy. Journaling, if you like journaling, right? Posting to social media, if you're a social media head. Whatever you enjoy. And can someone please tell me, why do we have to end these exercises in a way that we enjoy? Why is that important?
So you do it again.
So that you do it again. Good. Why would you do it? So tell me more.
Well, if you find enjoyment out of something, it's, it should encourage you to do it more. And when you ride a bike the first time, you're going to fall off. When you finally ride, you find enjoyment, and then you're going to do it again.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, you got to reward yourself for it. Otherwise, the habit never forms. Right? You will never become more curious if you don't enjoy the act of curiosity, of learning that follows. Right? You'll never become courageous if you do not celebrate facing your fears, no matter the outcome, by the way. Facing your fears, regardless of if you conquer, you need to celebrate the act of facing your fear, and the habit will form. So, exercise number 3, honor curiosity and courage in others. Why do we want to become better problem solvers? Why do we want to be better innovators? Partly for ourselves, yes. But the real joy, the real feeling of fulfillment comes when we see the contribution made to others. Right? So you see someone do something brave, tell them. Say, hey, that thing you did, that was really brave. I honor that. That was cool. Right? And you reward it in them. If it's too awkward, it was, across the subway platforms and there was a third rail and 2 trains and you can't run over there to say thank you to this. That's fine. Tell someone else what happened. Call a friend or call your mom. She'll be so happy to hear from you. Say, hey, Mom, I saw someone do something really brave. And she'll say, that's nice. Have you been eating? So exercise number 3 is to honor curiosity and courage in others. And by the way, when you do this, you reward it in them and you help that person embrace that attitude, but you also inspire it in yourself. So take time to face your fears, follow your curiosity, and honor curiosity and courage in others. Now, as we cultivate our innovator's attitude, as we get better at this, by the way, these are 3 exercises. How many times do you have to do an exercise in order to reap the rewards of that exercise? 4. I heard 4. How many? Was that 5? It's not an auction. 3 sets, 20 reps.